It's one of those things, like a walk-on moment that's just so fun, the kind of thing that lights up the audience and makes you feel like it'll always come back. But this time, it returned in an unexpected way when the effervescent and beloved Goldie Hawn made headlines with a stunning revelation. Known for her comedic charm and infectious energy, Hawn shocked fans in a recent interview by confessing a deeply personal story involving none other than the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. While most might expect tales of red carpets and champagne-soaked parties from Hollywood's golden era, Hawn instead shared a vulnerable and unexpected moment, one where, in her own words, she couldn't say no to Elvis. Imagine it, a young, rising star encountering a living legend. What happened in that fleeting moment between them? What kind of chemistry surged behind the scenes between two icons of their time? Hawn's admission continues to stun even decades later, offering not just another Hollywood tale, but a rare and intimate glimpse into the powerful magnetism Elvis held, on stage and off. This is the story of one of the most intriguing confessions from one of Hollywood's most dazzling stars. Goldie Hawn, the name alone conjures images of bubbly laughter, bright eyes, and a zest for life that has enchanted audiences for over 5 decades. Born on November 21, 1945, in Washington, D.C., Goldie Jean Hawn was destined for the spotlight. From an early age, she trained in ballet and tap, eventually performing in stage productions like The Nutcracker before transitioning into teaching dance. But the pull of performance was too strong to resist, and by the 1960s, Hawn found herself in California, where her dazzling beauty and magnetic personality quickly caught the attention of television producers. Her big break came in 1968 with a comedy sketch show Rowan and Martin's Laugh In, where her high-pitched giggle, comedic timing, and lovable, dumb blonde act made her an instant sensation. Beneath the surface of her wide-eyed characters, however, was a sharp wit and raw talent that refused to be pigeonholed. Hawn's leap into film was a calculated and courageous one. In 1969, she starred opposite Walter Matthau and Ingrid Bergman in Cactus Flower, where her portrayal of the free-spirited Toni Simmons won her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. This milestone cemented her status not just as a comedic darling but a serious actress. Through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Hawn built an extraordinary career with unforgettable roles in hits like Bird on a Wire, 1990, Death Becomes Her, 1992, and The First Wives Club, 1996, the latter becoming a cultural touchstone that blended humor with feminist commentary. Though she stepped away from Hollywood for years, her 2017 return in Snatched, opposite Amy Schumer, was met with eager applause. Her on-screen chemistry with longtime partner Kurt Russell in The Christmas Chronicles only added to their status as Hollywood's golden couple. Yet behind the glow of the spotlight, Goldie Hawn's life has also been shaped by controversies, criticisms, and unwavering strength. Over the years, Hawn has faced her fair share of public scrutiny. One of the most persistent talking points has been her long-standing relationship with Kurt Russell. Their decision never to marry despite being together for over 4 decades has sparked both admiration and backlash. Critics questioned their commitment, while fans praised their modern love story. Hawn has openly explained that their relationship thrives not because of legal bonds but because of mutual respect and love, a view not always embraced by traditional circles. Another cloud that has occasionally hovered over her career is the perception that she's difficult to work with. Some reports from film sets painted her as demanding, while others insisted she was simply a consummate professional with clear expectations. Hawn herself has dismissed these claims, suggesting that being a strong woman in Hollywood often comes with unfair labels. Her outspoken personality, especially on political and social issues, has sometimes divided fans. Yet, through the fire of criticism, Hawn remains steadfast in her beliefs and continues to use her voice to support causes such as mental health and education through her Goldie Hawn Foundation. Of course, no conversation about this surprising confession is complete without examining the legendary Elvis Presley. Born on January 8, 1935, in Tupelo, Mississippi, Elvis came from humble beginnings. His passion for music and magnetic stage presence launched a revolution in popular culture. In 1954, with the release of That's All Right from Sun Records, Elvis introduced a new sound that fused country, blues, and gospel in ways never heard before. With smoldering good looks, boundless charisma, and hip-shaking performances, he became a national sensation by 1956 with hits like Heartbreak Hotel and Hound Dog. More than just a singer, Elvis was a cultural shift, a rebellious force that challenged conservative America and reshaped entertainment. His influence extended far beyond music. He became a fashion icon, a film star, and a symbol of youthful defiance. Despite critics who dismissed his acting or found his performances too provocative, the public adored him. Yet, behind the flashing lights and fanfare, Elvis's life was fraught with turmoil. His relationship with Priscilla Presley, which began when she was only 14 and he was 24, drew considerable controversy and has since been the subject of ongoing ethical debate. Though they married in 1967, the relationship struggled under the weight of fame and infidelity, ending in divorce by 1973. As the years went on, Elvis's health deteriorated. He became increasingly dependent on prescription drugs, leading to erratic behavior and a decline in his once electric performances. The pressures of superstardom, loneliness, and physical ailments took a heavy toll. On August 16, 1977, Elvis Presley died at the age of 42, leaving behind a legacy unmatched in music history. While his personal struggles added complexity to his public persona, they also humanized the legend. His music, his image, and his story continue to captivate audiences worldwide. Together, the lives of Goldie Hawn and Elvis Presley tell a story of fame, vulnerability, passion, and unexpected connections. Hawn's confession about her moment with Elvis isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a window into the gravity of stardom and the spontaneous magic that can exist between two icons. Her story, like his, reminds us that behind every glittering name is a human being with dreams, desires, and moments that change everything, even if only for a second. Many of those who were close to Elvis Presley, including his entourage and those who worked alongside him, chose to turn a blind eye to his growing dependency on drugs. Whether out of loyalty or fear of jeopardizing their own careers, they remained silent as his health declined rapidly. His once electric performances lost their energy, and his personal life spiraled into chaos. Despite these struggles, Elvis continued performing in Las Vegas, maintaining the illusion that the king of rock and roll was still in full control. But behind the curtain, he was fighting a losing battle with addiction. When the public eventually learned of his substance abuse, the revelation came as a shock. Elvis had always seemed larger than life, an unstoppable force in music. The harsh reality that he was battling severe personal demons disillusioned many. His addiction was not only widely criticized but also believed to be a significant factor in his deteriorating health and premature death. Elvis's relationship with his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, added another layer of controversy to his life. Parker, a Dutch immigrant with no formal background in the entertainment industry, had managed Elvis from the very start. Yet, many critics have argued that he exploited Elvis for personal gain, taking a substantial cut of his earnings and making questionable decisions about his career. Parker maintained strict control over both Elvis's business affairs and personal life, leading some to believe this manipulation contributed to the singer's eventual decline. For instance, Parker's push to keep Elvis performing in Las Vegas limited his opportunities to explore more meaningful roles or artistic avenues. Critics have long contended that Parker steered Elvis into subpar projects, stifling his artistic growth throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s. Despite mounting tension and controversy, Elvis remained under Parker's management until the very end. Another notable controversy in Elvis's life involved his inner circle, known as the Memphis Mafia. This group of close friends and associates followed Elvis throughout much of his career, becoming deeply embedded in both his personal and professional life. While some members were genuinely loyal and helped him cope with the pressures of fame, others were seen as opportunists who enabled his unhealthy lifestyle. Elvis's dependence on the Memphis Mafia eventually became detrimental, as many were more concerned with maintaining their access to his wealth and fame than with preserving his well-being. Some members, including those closest to him, were accused of enabling his drug use and erratic behavior. Their self-serving and indulgent lifestyle not only contributed to Elvis's growing isolation but also played a part in the collapse of his health. Amidst this complex life, there was an unexpected and charming encounter between Elvis Presley and Goldie Hawn, a meeting that remains etched in Hawn's memory. Goldie Hawn had risen to fame in the 1960s, initially as a dancer and then as a comedic actress. Her breakout moment came with the hit television show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, where her bubbly personality and signature giggle made her an instant fan favorite. As her career blossomed through the 1970s, she transitioned to film and earned acclaim, even winning an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in Cactus Flower, 1969. By the early 1970s, Goldie Hawn had become one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, known for her charm, comedic talent, and down-to-earth appeal. At the same time, Elvis Presley was at the peak of his fame but also entering a more tumultuous period of his life. As Goldie was cementing her place in the film industry, Elvis was battling personal issues and navigating a changing career landscape. Though the two stars moved in different professional circles, Elvis reportedly took notice of Goldie's rising stardom and admired her work from afar. Goldie, in turn, was aware of Elvis's legendary status, although there's no indication that she had a direct interest in him at the time. Their paths finally crossed in a more personal way in the 1970s, a moment Goldie later described with affection and surprise. Goldie Hawn has never been shy about sharing her unforgettable encounter with Elvis Presley. She recounted meeting him while rehearsing for Laugh-In at NBC Studios. According to Goldie, the moment was surreal. Elvis's presence was magnetic, so much so that everyone in the room seemed awestruck when he entered. As she recalled in interviews, Elvis walked straight up to her, tousled her hair, and said in his playful drawl, "You look like a chicken that's just been hatched." Goldie admitted she didn't quite know how to take the comment at first. Unsure if it was a compliment, she eventually decided it was just Elvis being charming in his own unique way. "My God, I've never met a guy with so much charisma in my life," she said, reflecting on the interaction with admiration. Decades later, Goldie still looked back on the encounter with fondness and humor. By 2005, she had become a seasoned actress, successful producer, and even a writer. While promoting her memoir, A Lotus Grows in the Mud, a reflective look at her life's journey, Goldie spoke about that memorable meeting with Elvis during an appearance at the Hay Festival. With her characteristic wit, she recalled the details vividly, even describing the red knit jumpsuit she wore that day. "He called me over and said, 'Hey Goldie, come on over here,'" she recounted, laughing as she revisited the moment. "He touched my head and said I looked like a chicken that had just been hatched." Though she still didn't know exactly what to make of the remark, she appreciated the interaction as a sweet and unexpected memory. In the often impersonal world of Hollywood, where fame can isolate as much as it elevates, Goldie and Elvis shared a moment of genuine connection. Though brief, it was sincere, two icons at the height of their careers crossing paths in an unforgettable way. Over the years, Goldie continued to tell the story with warmth and gratitude. Elvis's charisma and spontaneity had left an indelible mark on her, and even decades later, she remembered it with a smile. That playful comment, odd as it may have been, became a cherished part of Goldie Hawn's personal history, an encounter between two stars who, for just a moment, shared something real.